Again, we've got a biscuit bowl, no splits, no cracks. Biscuit fired at 1000 or 08 cone. And for this one, we have two Raku Glazes. We have a white. Now the white glaze will react in the post-reduction and give us a sort of smoky underlay and also a crackled or crazed finish, and the smoke will pick out the crazed line as a black line, so there'll be a lovely contrast. The copper patina will give a lovely sort of metallic quality to the inside of the piece, and what I want to do is create a white crackle on the outside with the copper patina on the inside, and then just slightly over the top actually beginning to bleed down into the white. So what I'm going to do first is lay down the white crackle on the outside, and then I will apply the copper patina to the inside. Turn the bowl upside down, clean mop brush. Good idea to give the bottle a good shake, make sure that the glaze is properly mixed. Take the top off. Again, there's a metal film inside that must be removed. Now, the areas that are not glazed will come out black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glaze down to this line here, and then if there's any overspill onto the foot ring, I'll wipe it off with a sponge when the glaze is dry. The inside of the foot ring will not be glazed and therefore will be black. Load the mop brush and start to apply the glaze to the outside. Again, the first coat tends to dry fairly quickly. The nice thing about Raku is that very often with bad application, it actually comes out looking better. So this might be a good way of practicing your brush glaze application technique. Just trying to get up to that line now. As I say, I'm not worried if I go over a little bit, because I can wipe off any overspill. Just trying to get an even coat. Once that's begun to dry, we can apply a second coat. But while we're waiting for that, I'm going to turn the pot over and start to apply the copper patina to the inside. So this is the copper patina again. Good shake. Load the brush, bring that a little bit closer. And then we can start to apply this to the inside. Get plenty of glaze on. Again, this first coat will dry fairly quickly. And with most glazes, the colour that you see at this stage very often has no bearing on the colour that it fires. So although at this stage this is a fairly sort of boring khaki colour, it will be completely different when it comes out. I want to try and get a really good glaze cover on the inside, because this should be quite spectacular, this glaze. Once I'm sure I've got a nice even coat, pop that down and we can flip that over, and the outside is ready for its second coat. I'm trying to be fairly generous with this. That's the second coat. While it's still wet, brush it down. Remember, we're not glazing the foot ring on this one, so we've got something that's dry to get hold of while we flip the pot over. Right. The inside is dry enough for the second coat. Got quite a large surface area here. But as you can see, we don't actually use that much glaze. The beauty of the brush-on glaze is that you don't have to have very large quantities of glaze. With the dipping process, you have to have enough glaze to immerse the entire pot. With this, you can have a small jar and glaze lots and lots of pots. Right, that's the inside and its second coat. And what I'm going to have to do now is actually leave this to dry for a little while, because the inside and the outside have had two coats, and so the drying process slows down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this aside now for a second and go back to the first piece and apply the transparent or clear glaze over the underglaze decoration.